lovely sun-soaked day out over the Atlantic Ocean. A look at the lighthouse from Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia. Moving closer to us here in Halifax, and Theodore the tugboat can't make it into the Scotiabank Center. He will sit in the harbor as the old clock tower looks down upon the Scotiabank Center, which centers a very rich downtown core full of culture and history. Everyone heading inside to get to their seats for the second to last round robin draw. Sweden, 2013 world champion skip Nicholas Edin takes on Zhang Jialiang and Team China. Well, teams just being introduced. China being honored here in this afternoon's draw. It'll be their final round robin game. Well, it will be second to last for Team Sweden. Let's meet the teams now here in our feature matchup.
From Sweden, lead Kristoffer Sundgren. Playing second, Christian Lindström. Throwing third stones, Oscar Eriksson. And skip of Team Sweden, Nicholas Edin.
Well, they'll take on Team China with their lead, Wang Qinbo. Second stone thrower, Ba Duxin. Their third, Zhao Duzha. And the skip of Team China out of Harbin, Zhang Jialiang. Well, the Chinese team being honored here center stage as each team gets a chance to have the middle walkway be honored, introduce. Let's look at the standings coming into draw 16. Canada and Norway are in the 1-2 game at 9-1. Sweden controls everything for them. Win, they're into the 3-4 battle for that last playoff spot. And then China, Japan still alive with 6 losses. So is Italy at 3-6. Czech Republic, Scotland, and Russia all with 7 losses out of playoff contention. Now trying to play spoilers here in the last 2 round robin draws. Luke Coley joined with Ann Swisshelm. Pleasure to be here bringing this to you as we'll be on sheet A for our feature game. Another full slate of games. As the flags and pomp and circumstances finish, handshakes begin to set us up for this one. Sweden, as I said, controls everything. They're in a spot, a win, they get hammer, and they're into the 3-4 game.
Yeah, and China's playing for an outside chance at the playoffs. An outside chance at the playoffs. They have to win this last game. And, you know, we've seen some really great things from the rookie skip from China throughout the week. He's getting more and more comfortable. And you can look at what's happening around the rink this afternoon. Sweden playing China in our feature game. On sheet B, United States playing Russia. Sheet C, Canada playing Italy. And sheet D, Switzerland taking on Norway.
And interesting seeing Canada and Norway over on sheet C and D. They were on opposite, Norway on C earlier, Canada on D, playing side by side for the 3rd straight draw. They know each other quite well, and they're going to be even more familiar with one another playing the 1-2 game. They'll just get a close-up look side by side throughout.
Yeah, all of this is preparation for that 1-2 game, which will be Norway versus Canada.
And Norway can clinch the #1 seed and have the hammer in that one. They get a win because of their round-robin victory over Canada. Canada needs a Norway loss and a win.
Yeah, they're still playing for a valuable bonus in having the hammer in that 1-2 game. But here in our feature game, Nicholas Edin, with a win, guarantees himself the 3-4 game and the hammer in that game.
Well, they had the morning off, back in action now. They will have the red stones and the hammer to start things off. China with the yellow. Of course, if you were tuned in earlier, saw China knock off Scotland earlier today, 10-3.
So this is always an interesting setup. China's played already today. They come in being comfortable with the ice. They've already played. If fatigue is not a factor, I think these early ends go to China's benefit.
Did you ever find if you felt you weren't that tired from a game in the morning, they didn't play all 10 ends, it was an advantage to play back-to-back draws?
Well, you're always playing back-to-back draws at the World Championships. Just the way the draw lines up, you know, either night to morning, morning to afternoon, afternoon to evening. It's a pretty common occurrence. But what it does is it gives you a familiarity with the ice conditions that day based on the weather outside. So I do think it's potentially an advantage.
First stone in, Nicholas Adin, to no surprise, put the corner guard, Christopher Sundgren, right atop the numbers for lead stones. He's had a great week. Despite having to come out for a couple games, he wasn't feeling well, didn't have the energy early on.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit of jet lag or a lingering bite of the flu, but since resting those couple of draws, he has played just very consistently all week.
Wang Qingbo.
One of the youngest competitors in the field. We got to see his first game, and now we're seeing his last round-robin game, and he looks decidedly more comfortable and confident out there, as you might expect by the end of the week. It's been a nice transition to watch.
Well, first two stones into the rings. Sometimes you see the center line guard, maybe a different strategy, put two in, see what you can get. Obviously, a lot of these teams have a lot of people around them to scout, to watch what other teams are doing, and maybe saw something. There's a shot, reason why he's top of the
Yeah.
lead stones.
Yeah, just a delicate weight, move things around, sneak your shooter underneath that corner guard. Up the level of difficulty for Ba Duchenne. And for the viewers out there, I'd like you to pay attention to how the Chinese team throws their stones. They are so calm and consistent in their slide, the setup, the slide, and the release. It's really very nice to watch. Very technically proficient team.
Christian Lindstrom, the second for the Swedish team. Slower start for them. They got a feel for the ice and seem to be pretty comfortable with it. Talking to Nicholas before the game, he's quite happy. He's got a good grasp on it, what it's doing, what he needs to do on the ice surface.
Yeah, a bit of a rough opening couple of games for the Swedes, and since then they have really kind of run through the field.
Well, little hit and flop, very nice. They roll to the side. They roll too far that allows corner guard to be used. So we look at the rules of play. 6 ends minimum, 38-minute thinking time on each set of team clocks, and 160-second timeout.
Yeah, so the thinking time is a new rule this year. Teams used to play under what was called a running time, and that meant your clock ran the entire time you were playing. Now with think time, it only runs while you're thinking. So that means the second the rock gets put into play, your clock stops running, and you're not penalized for throwing slower or more delicate shots that take more time to get down the ice.
Really nice quiet weight. We've seen the big weight in the run backs especially the game we showed earlier in the week, Norway, Sweden, and I think played 10 or so. Nicholas himself played about 10 runbacks.
Somehow it seemed the only thing they were throwing were runbacks, which is not possible because someone had to put the rocks out front in order for them to be there, to be accessible for the runback. But yeah, it was definitely a default shot in the last 4 rocks for Team Sweden.
Well, following it right back with quiet weight of their own. Zhao Duja.
Look at that. Outstanding sweep.
Does jam on that back one, so leaves one in play.
But it's third count.
This will be Oscar Eriksson's first, and he's the lefty. See if this runs a little differently than a right-hander.
Well, he actually has a better look, a better line to this rock than a right-handed player. He's a little bit closer, 6 inches closer, as a matter of fact, on the other side of the ice.
Well, jams on the back, and so 1-2 now. That redstone can be ignored a little bit. Oscar Eriksson, multiple-time medalist as alternate, and as well the silver medalist last year.
In the skip position.
Does Nicholas taking over his team, and he slides down to the 3rd position.
Yeah, we'll get a nice look at the rock speed here. So 14.7. That's a little bit slower than we've actually been seeing the way that rock sat down. 14.7 earlier in the week was running right to the tee line with not a lot of sweeping. So with the beautiful weather outside, the building might be a little bit warmer, and the ice might be just a touch slower this afternoon.
It was considerably colder in the building this morning for the morning draw. Oscar Eriksson looking to draw around. Well, a different path wasn't really their initial call, but they go down to that back one. Second shot, it looks like.
I believe they are second shot. So that's really important to them at this point.
Skip stone time.
Corner och så kallar han inte ens nästan upp och nästa smeter runt fint liksom, då var det perfekt, men första hamnar långt ner djupt någonstans.
Han hamnar topp 8, en fjärdedel igen.
Alltså, ja, okej. Han gick rakt i alla fall.
Ja, den var dåligt satt.
Zhang Jialiang, skip Team China, his first. Trying to remove that redstone. Over curling, roll that one away. But I think now leaves him third shot, that red one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would have liked to have seen the back end of Sweden sweep that Chinese counter there, just to, you know, I know there's almost no way you can get at with 2 rocks left to make that one count, but it reduces the pressure a little bit.
Halvhjärma T-line.
So Nicholas Edin will draw under that nice pile of rocks on the right side of your screen.
Topp 4. Ja, tajt linje. Yes. Behöver gå. Ingen först.
4 till.
Behöver gå. Fart också.
4.
Hårt! Hårt! Kör! Hårt!
I think they're going to be all over that Chinese stone in the rings.
Ja, det är segaren i den matchen, definitivt.
Well, a mistake there. Come up short, and 1-2 now for China. So where do you go now? Final stone.
There's a couple of options. They could put one in the top 8, make the draw a little bit more difficult. They could draw under that corner again. An adjustment in the call. Got down to the other end. Changed his mind. I really think that I like that Zhang Zhaoliang went all the way down the ice, set the target, reset his whole process.
It's all about routine. Creatures of habit.
Really is.
Well, they didn't want to have a chance of rubbing off that one. They wanted to make sure they get around. Didn't have to bury it.
Right. I will, without any kind of irony, say they didn't want to set up any possibility at a triple for Nicholas. He could throw such weight, such power with accuracy that, and he is very familiar with angles and how rocks move. World champion and Olympic medalist. Proves that.
Känns lös. Känns lös, det är bara gå. Ni har den. E-line. Linjen är bra.
Well, Nicholas came up short on his first shot at the end here. Final stone of this first. Draw 16.
Yeah,
Has some backing to get 1.
they need part of the 1 foot.
And not a problem there, right down to that Ford logo right on the button. So Sweden first on the board, a win, and they're in the 3-4 game. Lead 1-0 after 1. Well, let's take a look as we come back. The USA-Russia. USA needs a win, and then long discussion to explain exactly how it is. But here, last rock of the first end. John Schuster.
Roll it in, John, maybe. We might
Hit, roll it in.
Sorry, guys. Terrible end. My bad.
Well, they'll take one. I think it was an effort at a blank. Ends
Yeah,
up
trying to blank that one, John Schuster.
It's two brutal throws.
And Pat Simmons from Team Canada.
More than you want, I think.
Back line.
Clean.
Clean, yeah. Clean. Yeah.
last rock of the first end, taking on Italy.
Clean. Whoa, whoa.
Hasn't had the hammer to start a lot of games. 9-1 record. Just the third time to start a game with the hammer.
Delicate little tap around lots of traffic.
And able to sit there. They'll score 2. So Canada leading 2-0 over Italy. Lost by Italy, and they are eliminated while we get back to our feature game. Centerline guard, corner guard, starting the second end.
Yeah, Nicholas needs to set up the rocks for his run backs.
He did not play a single run back in end number 1.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. I am surprised.
Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen. Japp. Jag gaddar med sexan istället. Ja.
I've seen that from a lot of teams that come around trying to find the right spot to put the broom to make that come around. Has been a little difficult.
It's been a little tricky. Draw weight's been a little tricky, and this end sheet has had some straight spots and some spots that move a little bit more. So finding the perfect draw weight has been a little elusive for a lot of the teams out here.
Well, the perfect roll made. Sits top of the 12-foot, so asking his second, Christian Lindstrom, go top 4-foot.
Yeah, take advantage of what he's looking at as double center guards. That is an amazing shot.
Well, it'll be China that'll be the first to call the run back. Go you red, yellow, red. Great come around by Lindstrom. He'll be key in any, with a win in this one into the playoffs and future games for Team Sweden. And look at that, right back. Quiet weight, plays the run back. Keeps
Great
that
control by Ba Duchenne.
Well, perfect hit and roll back by Sweden. Some great shots being made. The second position in the second end. Well, made one. Can see Ba Duchenne make a second.
This one's going to have to be subtly different. He's going to want to lose both red stones.
Well, Ba Duchenne, second at the Olympic Winter Games. Best finish at a World, 6th, playing the second position. We'll clear the center line, open things up.
Excellent double peel.
In case we'll see a difference in the way runbacks are played. We'll see Sweden throw a lot more weight at some of theirs. Or China really controlled using their sweepers.
Lite tight. Klippa.
Okej. Lite kort.
Ja, kör dem när det är kort. Nej, bara stanna, bara stanna, bara stanna. Ja. Ja.
Well, the guard replaced.
Hur många är det inte spelarna stått? Eller där spelarna stått?
Ja.
So indication, not playing the run, just trying to play the double peel.
Just play it open. He's looking maybe to roll in off the back side of the double corner guards. Needs to hit a little bit more of the stone. Goes just underneath it.
Straight peel.
If he had hit that center guard just a little bit thicker, he could have bounced off the back of those corner guards and into the rings.
Lite längre. Nära. Nära.
Behöver kalla lite. Wow, wow. Mitt.
Ligger där Niklas.
Mitt på linan. Kommer fint nu. Rent, 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 rent. Ja, ta den lite. Ja. Rent. Perfekt. Perfekt. Oskar.
Well, very nice position guard. Again by Team Sweden, Oscar Eriksson.
Yeah, and with it being a little bit deeper than the first one, China's going to try the run back.
And we'll touch that one off the forefoot. Push it to the side of the 12. Just catches enough. Li Hongchen, Chinese coach, watching, and they'll record everything as well so they can talk about it further. Of course, all-time, full-time athletes, studying the game, playing the game, practicing the game.
And a look at Frederick Lindberg, who has gone from teammate to coach for Nicholas Sedin. His teammate last year at the Olympics, now on the bench, helping develop game plans, and helping Nicholas from a different vantage point now.
Full fyra. Full fyra.
Bara fart.
Full tid.
Bara fart. Är med? Bra linje.
Fyra.
Fight 4. Wow, wow.
Ligger back fyra.
Fight 4.
This is looking really good to be just top 4 underneath those corner guards.
We'll look in Switzerland, Norway over on sheet D. Norway with a win gets first overall, their last round robin game, but doesn't have the hammer in the first. Mark Pfister. Does he have to move both of them to get his single point?
Looks like
Needed a
it.
little roll. And it is a steal of 1 for Thomas Olsrud and the Norwegians. They lead 1-0.
2 ends in a row that Norway has stolen a single point. So, third run back of this end for Team China. I thought it was going to be Sweden with the run backs. Not correct in my pregame analysis. And they bailed on that one in order to hopefully keep an angle. I don't think they have.
Don't have much on that side. Now it looks like going to be forced to face 3 with his final stone.
Jag tycker det här är bra, va? Ja. Kan ni ena? Den här taken kommer jag aldrig gå på. Fight 8, topp 12. Täcka bra.
So just discussing the best line to put that stone on so that if it sits a little bit higher, it's good. If it comes into the rings, it's still in a good spot.
Lägga den liksom så. Ja. Fullt tag. Ja. Yes.
So final of skip stones.
98.
Fight up!
Nicholas Adin.
Lägg den här. Linjen är bra.
Fight up! Helst ingenting!
Sacka nu. Fight 8 är bra
Fight
längd.
up!
Här.
Fight up! Fight up!
Just some really great shots this end have set up
Man inte
the
kalla honom mer nu. Matti.
force.
Bra. Ja, bra.
Top part of the rings, so a hit on that stone just thrown isn't shot. Tough to really play a hit on
Hålla kvar den ändå.
the one in the 8-foot, forcing the draw for a single point. And we've seen lots of these have some mistakes throughout the event. All teams so far.
Yeah, all teams have had a little bit of struggle when you've moved the broom out a little bit.
So final stone of the second end needs 4 foot.
It's all up to the sweepers.
Well, out a little wider. Will this stop? You see the hog-to-hog time.
Really
I don't think
needs
it's going to
dig
stop in the 8-foot. It's close. And it slides back. It is a steal of 1 for Sweden. Went out a little wider, a little quicker. And a single point stolen and a 2-0 Sweden lead.
Bra. Bra spel. Bra. Bra, gubbar.
Well, here the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Luke Coley and Swiss Elman, 2 singles for Team Sweden. So you look at the championship banner hanging from the rafters here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Well played. Second end really on both sides, and it was just a little bit deep on that draw and a missed run back early.
Yeah.
Can't really call it an unforced error. It was a forced error, the missed run back.
And unfortunately, with the missed run back, they ended up leaving guards in place.
Ser lång ut. Ser lång ut.
And then 2 really well-placed draws by Nicholas
14-1
Adin.
borde vara perfekt.
Put the pressure on Team China.
Kom igen, kom igen. Mycket bra. Bra skött. Fint.
So first stone into the rings. China will try and use the hammer in this end.
Hard.
well, trying to put these in a position to use. Important positioning of these corner guards. We'll look over at USA Russia. Must win for the USA in their final round robin game, up 1-0. And
they're putting the pressure on.
Arkhipov.
Yevgeny Arkhipov. He needs to draw the full 4-foot for his one. Looking at a potential, looking at 4 U.S. counters in the rings right now.
Well, and you see Yevgeny out to help. Got to get around that one. Try and get it into the 8-foot. It'll come up short of the 4-foot, but it will cut it down to just a single point for the U.S. 2-0. They lead. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're undefeated since Matt Hamilton shaved his mustache off.
That could be a fact. I have not been tracking the performance or lack thereof of the second from Team USA's.
I'm disappointed.
Facial hair.
Well, looking for the freeze, just sit on the corner. Bit of a bounce, but a good angle on it.
Yeah, they kept a nice angle, and they're directing the play towards their corner guard. Looks a little heavy. Needs to curl. There it goes. Weight's going to come off it now. All on its own. No sweeping required.
Every once in a while, it's nice to get those, but most of the time, you'd like to use your sweepers.
Yeah, you really would like to activate that part of your team as often as possible and in the most professional way as possible.
Look at from behind the delivery and straight as an arrow.
Straight as an arrow out of the hack. That arrow needed to be moving with a little bit more speed.
Come up a bit short still. Shot stone, Sweden, top of the 4-foot. Take a look. Switzerland, Norway. Swiss control their destiny. A 5-4 record. First game of the day. Taking on Norway.
Mark Pfister needs to be in the full 8-foot. Looking at 2 Norwegian stones in the rings.
Well, and Switzerland got off to a really good start and then had a couple of lopsided losses. Canada and Sweden here against Norway. Has to get the 8-foot. And he barely makes it into the 12-foot, and it's going to be a steal of 2. Confidence is a big thing in this game, and I don't know how much he has at this moment.
Yeah, Switzerland is really looking for a couple of good made shots to get them back on track, back in the winning ways.
Started at a 5-1 record and have lost 3 straight.
Again, the Swiss are a young team, first-time team. Another run back. Beautifully thrown.
Well, 1-2. It's a report to get through.
Vi kan kör kallt på den här så borde vi göra dubbeln. Okej. Vilken hand, så eller? Ja.
So this is going to be a screamer down the ice.
Whoa.
Just a lot of weight About 4 seconds.
And misses that back yellow. He saw the extension, the ad as they call it, on the delivery for Oscar Eriksson.
That may be the hardest rock thrown in this field. And he looks just effortless while doing it.
Yeah, not a big shove that you may see. Here's another look at
No.
this delivery. Comes out hard out of the hack, and watch the extension from the backside of the
Right
handle.
through the back of the handle. 100% of his momentum is directly behind the rock, and then with the ad, it's about 4.5 seconds hog to hog. Just amazing speed.
Trying to make the little short hit and roll. Sit directly in front.
Sätter vi in den micken där också.
Don't think he's going to throw this one quite as hard.
Eller en vanlig clearing.
Let's try and make the double and hold the shooter.
Whoa!
Might have been just a bit outside on that one, and I think it ran right down that center line.
Yeah, they may be putting a little bit of momentum on the back of the handle there. And it's just going to run a little bit straighter.
Look, there are some of the teams talking to each other, and
Some camaraderie between the sheets here.
front ends of Team USA and Team Sweden. We saw earlier today David Murdoch get a little fortunate on a shot and got a high five from Norway, who was playing on the sheet next to him. Well, look at that one just move. That one goes back 8 foot behind that yellow one, the yellow guard. Is there a double available?
There's always a double available.
Especially when Sweden's playing?
Especially when the rock is in the hands of Niklas Edin.
Lite mer. Liten roll. Hänger den ut och går på dubbeln när en tjock fjärdedel.
He may be electing just to play the hit and roll here. I'm not quite sure.
Han har inte så, han måste ändå runda röd.
We'll be able to tell with the weight as it comes out of the hack.
I think they hit and roll, and if it's thin, then they play the double. I don't think he's going to play a streamer at this one. Well, make the hit. Now get the roll a little bit over.
I think it's still available to Team China with some backline weight.
Another arrow coming out of the hack.
Yep, it's all about weight and line management.
Delivery very similar between all four members of this Chinese team, trying to play the quiet little shot, but will go right to their own. So the hit and roll was good enough.
Det är dit
Fast
vi vickar
Chappen är ju nydlig, han kan inte chappa då tillbaka.
Ja, nej, jag håller med.
Då får han dra ner mot den där. Den är
Ja, det är
inte
ingen dubbel heller.
Den här är en sten övergömd nästan. Samma is. Spela lite mindre fart bara. Så, typ. Lite mer. Lite. Hade du någon fart på förra?
10.65.
Vad vill vi göra?
Förra var 10-6. Jag spelar ungefär samma då. Ta lite mindre. Chappen är nydlig. Då kan han inte chappa tillbaka. Då måste han dra målet ner mot den.
Så det är första.
Sa du?
Så det är main traction.
Ja. Vicken blir helt okej också. Men
So nice little hit and roll, force the issue.
Hårdare.
A little more weight on this one. And he set it just a hair.
Has to cross center, get anything. Will it make that late move? And will have enough to get rid of it, but shooter rolls out. Is there any way to get at that red one? Or is it a draw for one still?
The run back is there, but I think at this point in the game, China needs to get on the scoreboard. They can't afford to give up a steal and go down 3-0.
Kala över i alla fall.
So it looked to me that last one of Nicholas, he just set it a little, popped it a little outside, and rode the center line. So a piece of the forefoot here needed for Team China to get on the scoreboard.
Well, Team Sweden watching on as the combination Wang Chenbo, Ba Duxin put that one to the forefoot. There for one. So they're on the board 2-1 through 3 ends. It is draw 16 from Halifax in the Ford World Men's Curling Championship.
Ja, fan vad dåligt. Helvete.
Det jag gjorde då.
Welcome back. 2015 Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Luke Coley and Swiss Helm with you. And Sweden, a 2-1 lead. We'll have the hammer playing 4. Wang Chenbo.
Calling for a center guard here. Looking to force the play. Dean will take advantage by putting up a corner guard. Christopher Sundgren.
90% for the championship.
Just very consistent play and rock placement.
4% better than the next lead.
Yeah, he's really embraced these ice conditions. Playing like he loves it, no matter what it is, no
And
matter
Anna's,
which straw it is.
You've played lead at a world championship. You know when there's stones, you match them. Sometimes a lead ends up with some different or unmatched, or they're all good in a different way, but not as good as a skip may want.
Yeah, you might get a more challenging set of stones to play with. You may be playing the same exact shots every time, but you're using different stones. So that ups the level of difficulty for leads that may be kind of invisible to the general viewer.
Well, as that one comes to rest, we'll look over, and a lot of red American stones. A couple in the forefoot, looks like lying 2. Yevgeny Arkhipov. His final stone gave up a steal in the second end. Trying to get to the nose of it. And will stop just in time, it looks like. And they do, so after a little look, it's 1 for Russia. They're on the board, trying to play spoiler, coming in with a 7-loss record. Sweden able to get at that one, little roll to the corner.
Another beautiful shot on our feature sheet.
Guess who? Setting things up for this Sweden team.
The lead, playing just an outstanding tournament. But when you talk about rocks and the possible imperfections or the fact that they're not perfectly identical, teams have different philosophies in how they handle that. Some teams like to put those rocks to the lead stones. Other teams will put them at seconds. Some skips like to have a rock that might curl a little bit more than other rocks on the sheet.
And here's one that curls a little more on the guard. Unable to get past to get at that shot stone. So early advantage, Sweden in this 4th end.
The good news for China is that I really liked that call, that down weight, or trying to go around the corner, get the one in the rings. If you get if you peel off the corner, no problem. You roll to center. China's got the center blocked up.
Get a chance to jump over and look, keep you up to date. Canada, Italy, 2-2. Canada has that one back, 4-foot. Outturn draw now for Pat Simmons. Looking to get a deuce. Canada having a tight battle with Finland this morning. Able to take advantage of a miss. Akukoste and the Finnish skip flashing a hit on his last. Draw for 2 and win it.
Line's good. Line's fine. Line's good.
Take a mark.
It's not bad. Running straight. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
So really testing these teams and knowing where they're at on the ice, where they throw it, what weight they have to put on it. Right to the side of the 4-foot, and they'll get 2. Canada has to be quite happy there.
What am I gonna?
Got their second deuce, and they were talking stones there right away, maybe switching a few up.
Yeah, being aware of when rocks are different and how they're different is one of the skills that separates these athletes from regular curlers.
Gärna curla. Ligger bra. Rent, rent. Håll igång. Japp, japp. Ta det nu. Ta det nu. Ner dötta. Kom igen, ligger perfekt. Nedåt om det går. Nedåt om det går. Kom igen. Snyggt. Mycket bra. Bra.
Just wanting to line those stones up. Angle is so important, and there's in front of the tee line.
Yeah, those are great setup shots. Sweeper's working really hard on this one as it's starting to curl.
Well, they take away, because they tuck underneath a little bit, take away the red. Might we see the first run back from Sweden?
I think we're going to see the first run back from Sweden. The difference is going to be if Nicholas feels it's too early. But
Dubbla dem. Alternativt sätta en så. Det är risk att den går ner och stör det här, men...
Det är väl inte hela världen, nu är det ändå öppet. Så har vi den stenen, 3 mot.
Jag gillar nog den där, ja. Vilka corner där, få snärten. Sätter du bara clean i hålet så är det okej också.
Ingen risk att man river egen kantsten där då.
Nej. Nej, hålet funkar bra. Får du snärten där så är det lugnt.
Tell you I didn't translate it from what they were saying, but from the body language or in the motions, running that top one, I think he was asking if he can catch his own if he goes straight through the two lower guards.
Whoa.
So just the peel. We'll make a double peel.
yeah, there was lots of good things that could happen from that rock.
So here we'll catch this a bit high, get all three of them moving, leaves that one. It's a lonely Yellowstone in that 4-foot.
It sure is, and the Swedish stones in front of it are well positioned to remove it.
Whoa. 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 Good. 下动要吗？没有啊，我看你出手。Eller vecka in på den här, jag gillar nog den ja. Ja, men. Ja. Tar det lite tjockt så kan man få med den här dubbeln också så har vi mer plats. Men helst inte röra den ändå. Bara vecka in här någonstans om det går. Hur hårt? Dryg sarg. 11 då. Halvträff.
83% for Oscar Eriksson. Right at the top, along with Canadian third, John Morris. Just trying to hit and roll off the corner to get in the rings.
Yeah, they're not looking to release that Chinese stone just yet. Over curled a bit. They were hoping to get a longer roll.
Well, those stones are open. Do you make a play first if you're China? Try and smash them?
I'd like to see that happen. I think that's a positive option for Team China. We haven't seen a lot of big weight being thrown out of Zhang Jialiang.
may decide this suits his game better, that to play it this style, play a quiet little. Important here, has to keep his shooter on top in a position, otherwise double possibilities.
7、8、8、9，
提线，
立，
站科，
直线2，
进科，
2，1，2，2。
Well, big scrub, got to hold it to make contact on him, and just moves him a hair, just changes the angles ever so slightly.
Han kan ju typ inte dubbla, eller han kan väl pressa ut båda dit åt vänster kanske. Då lär han riva den. Tänkte om man bara ska slå och vicka på den här. Han kan inte slå det hitåt och sitter nu där. Han ligger i skottet fortfarande, vi måste göra någonting åt det.
Ja. Ingen tanke på att gå själv på det här.
Ja, det kan vi.
Kanske bättre att slå den.
Tuntouchen på den kan bli äcklig, men då borde jag ändå få träff liksom och skava ner den där lite grann.
Kanske blir att man lägger en lätt dubbel då också.
Det blir rätt okej ändå, va?
För tunt här blir inget bra. Om man
Då,
bara...
däremot så kommer jag vicka ut så han kommer kunna göra tillbaka den.
Nej, gör något på den här.
Ja, jag gillar den. Gör ju absolut ingenting om jag får en ganska tjock. Vicka dit, nudda ut den där. Om man tur så kan det linea upp sig så är helt laddat.
Bara man får ut den här från i alla fall sämre än våra 3 röda.
Chappen borde inte bli värdelös. Den där kommer ju spinna, ta där någonstans. Han kanske kan vicka in, men då ligger vi kvar. Täcker lite.
Det enda vi inte vill göra är att vicka så.
Och det enda vi inte vill göra är att vicka dit. Så han kan spela in i klykan liksom och ligga kvar.
Då kommer den försvinna då.
Ja, eller hit då.
Ja.
Jag gillar en ganska liten vick. Vicka dit, försöka få en rörelse i den.
Ja.
Även om det ligger på en dubbel så måste han slå. Ja.
Chapp med 10 så lär den här stanna. Här någonstans i alla fall. Så.
Lilla vicken med en 10. Vi får ge ut den ur bot och så skaver vi in liksom och ligger alla 3 lineade mot den sista.
Okay.
10,5 ungefär.
Ja.
Chappen blir ju helt okej också. Helst inte vicka för långt bara, i så fall måste vi...
Well, long discussion on that after angles just changed ever so slightly. Nice little rearrangement by Zhang Jialiang.
Matt. Whoa. Whoa. Matt.
Rent upp! Ja! Ja! Hårt! Hårt, Janne! Hårt!
Well, want to try and hold their stone out in front, and noses it, sits top 8 foot.
Ja, bra.
I think he'll be quite happy with where he sits there.
Jävlar vad kall han drog. Inte den mjukaste sättningen jag gjort det där eller?
10-6. En bra kall på den.
Ja.
Yeah, and unfortunately with that over curling a little bit, that allows a little bit of touch weight and roll in.
这个角度你是这个角度你才能磕不着它，你磕这个角度已经很薄了，就奔这儿来了，直接奔这儿来，就是贴在这儿，他打也得。
什么劲？
啊？
什么头？
旋转的。
Well, does Zhang need to be really careful in this situation, the way all those reds are piling up, or he still has that savior in the back of the forefoot?
I think when you're talking about this kind of situation, you have to always be careful. But you can't throw careful. You need to throw with confidence. Whatever shot you've selected, you need to go for it. You need to go confidently for it. So I think they settled on the freeze.
OK， 出力
7区没有7，
，2，2，他打线，
Har! 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 Come on! Har! 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 Har!
A big scrub trying to get by will not get by. It's still shot stone.
Fan, du bara spela ner den här för 2.
Skulle jag få en nudd på den känns det som att man ändå kan sitta där, va? Eller går den ovanför? Det kanske
Kan man spela den här?
Jag funtar på det.
Kan man få tillräckligt med effekt?
Ja.
Den här kommer ju inte röra sig någonting.
Absolut, men frågan om den stickar där.
Ja. Man får inte...
3:an sitter ju garanterat där.
Really interesting how the angles will work out because of where all those stones
Det är
sit.
ganska skönt att få en poäng i alla fall. Fortsätta leda med 2.
Yeah. Nicholas is lining up a triple.
Jag kan ju spela chappskjutningen för 2.
Using a
Jag kan
catcher.
nudda den för 1. Kan sätta ner den och sticka där för 2. Sticka där för 2.
Det känns som stickan här för 2 är lättast. Spelar man den här, man får touchen här, kan ju den stanna.
Tror du det?
Ja, om man träffar
Den ligger ju fryst liksom. Så antingen så blir det tick-tick eller så lär den där dra iväg.
Ja, vad vill du spela då? Det här kanske är lättaste slaget, men i risk har man för tjock så kan den ju knorra.
Men det är ju bara för
dit
2 också. Nej, spännande.
Vad vill du spela för fart?
En 8. Så.
8, sätt den här.
Ja.
Well, that stone they had in the top of the 8-foot looks like will be used.
Så en 70% träff.
Ja.
Slashing it in on their own red.
Sticka ner den här för 2. Ja. 8.
Now, do they want to touch that top yellow, catch it real thin, or just to their own?
Bara klippa gul, clean liksom.
Yeah, I think they're hoping to redirect a little bit.
This one should be moving. 82%. Final stone. Fourth end. Wow, big scrub right onto it. And will pick their own out. And it'll be a steal. Over curled on them. They wanted to catch it, I think, a bit thinner. Instead of what they thought might have been a big end. It is a steal by China. All square through 4 ends. Well, singles in 1 and 2 for Sweden. Singles back by China in 3 and 4. Has us at a 6-end game now, 2-2. Sweden will have the hammer. Looked like they had some good angles set up, but it was well played by the Chinese skip Zhang Jialiang, able to play the little quiet tap, just change the angles ever so slightly without throwing weight.
Yeah, he really set up beautifully, but both of Nicholas Dean's stones over curled on them. Either one of those holds the line that they were looking for, and I think Team China would have been facing at least 2, if not 3 Swedish counters.
Well, just you see the vice skip Zhao Dujia down there. Little extra break for Zhang Zhaliang. I'm sure he gets the steal. Sees that first stone partially in the rings.
So Sweden can nose hit it.
Kanske lite mjukt. Ben. Perfekt. Snyggt. Mycket bra. Bra liv. Bra grippa. Bra skött.
This end looks like it's going to be a little bit simpler with that opening miss from Wang Chenbo.
Well, that one comes up just in front, so those 2 centerline guards, it'll change the angles if you wanted to play any sort of run back later, because it'll change the angles.
Börja sacka. Ford-märket.
Nej, räcker. Bete bara rakt där. Fan. 2,5 fot. Ekad. Konstaterar inte det första. När det snackade om hans i förra matchen. Nej, han skulle dra bakom kåren och tog igenom istället.
So Badushin see the first stones go out in front, and then play's been in the rings. Different from many games we've seen this week where centerline guard, the come around, they've put some stones out in front.
With the switch there by the sweepers, I don't know if you've been noticing at home, they periodically switch which sweeper is closest to the stone or furthest away, and trying to maximize that last bit of curl. If you sweep into the curl, you hold the rock straighter. If you sweep with the curl, you can make it move a little bit more.
Ingenting.
Well, it does push one in, but not the angle they're hoping for. So it's still a shot stone for China. We'll look over at USA, Russia, and that's a little bit of a...
It's a complicated house. Skip John Schuster is looking to just slash. Hit the red one really thin and slash it in. Just, as John said, hits it a little thick.
Catches it thinner. He probably gets it into the pocket. And they take a single point, but a 3-1 lead. And every time we've gone over there, it seems John's upset with himself. But they do have a 3-1 lead. So China lies 2. Important stone. Sweden will try and make sure they keep their shooter around no matter what happens. Even if you nose it, It's a better situation than rolling out.
Hård igen. Bättre fart. Får någon dubbel eller? Ja. Du trycker bara in dem bakom corner. Det är bättre att köpa. Bra. Var med på gul bakom team.
Well, chips that one over. Actually works out pretty good. It has that one. Jan's favorite line, the back guard behind the corner.
Yeah. Zhang Zhaliang knows that that's a trouble setup on the other side, and he's going to try and take advantage of it by hitting and rolling over there.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Okej. Nej, det var Krille som hade drag. Vi hade curl, så var det. Ja. Tror de här någonstans. Bra. Bra, 4-10. Ja. Gärna linje. Japp, japp. 4. 4. 10. Bort 4. Japp, japp. Ja, linje. Håll. 10. Bort 4. Bort 4. Bra, snyggt. Ja, skött. Ja, snyggt. Mycket bra. Det är lite hook i den.
Well, there's where using that corner guard and those stones in play to help you.
Yeah, and it ups the level of difficulty for China. Puts Sweden in a controlled position. But a well-placed stone by Ba Duchen can take that control right back.
Well, something you see a lot from the Chinese, able to, the thrower will go out and try and sweep that, but I don't think it was going to help, as that one ends up touching the corner, rolls to a center.
Har du chans att ligga 2 eller? Ja, har du chans att ligga 2? Nej. Bättre att komma runt först. Känns som att rundningen kan bara bli ett läge att skjuta på dubbeln. Jag vet inte. Okay.
I know the third sweeper is something we're not used to seeing, but it does make a difference if you are in the right trajectory. If you can sweep without setting your teammates off.
With that mistake, now advantage here, trying to set something up. That one hoping to make the little bit of a roll, instead knows it and opens up this path to play the draw.
Yeah, both teams getting caught on that spot. Looking for hits and rolls. That's the third time this end where it's at straight. Ran straight, I mean.
No. Ready?
可以放吗？哥，放网线，放网线，那就他力量为主，力量为主，力量为主。好，放网线，好。
Well, they want to try and get this one in for a shot stone. Sweepers earned that one, getting it that far to the top of the forefoot.
Spela på den, det är risk att man lägger upp något åt den. Den.
Mycket bättre på att dra. Från varför vi
Spela chappen.
Varför vi ger han läget att dra.
Kalla över så ligger ändå gard för den. Och skotte. Kommer han ju försöka sätta in den. Spela den dubbeln. Ja. Inte stenhård. Det skulle vara ganska nice om man ligger kvar och inte petar ner allt för långt. En 7. Så ser han lite grann av den här. Om man spelar någon hårdare. Han ser lite grann av den. Han väljer att slå den. Rullar någonting utåt eller rullar av, då är den öppen take för 2 också. Nu vill leda 7. Så är det så. Lite mer. Det är sjukt out, den här går ju jävligt rakt. Jag tycker fan din take gick rakt också.
Well, it is open, but first the skip stones gave up the steal, and run back gives you some options here, Ann.
Yeah, with that great draw by Zhang Jialiang and company. Team Sweden needs to address it. And they're going to do so by opening this up, using the run.
Well, go across the top, peel it out. Almost
They were
got
hoping
that
to
other
get
one.
the... Yeah, that was, I think, their plan. But the good news is they left the 2 corner guards unstaggered so that Nicholas could run those in either way. You see up front, that was some of the discussion.
So another attempt at this out-turn come-around. Zhang Jialiang.
On a slightly different piece of ice, just a little bit inside the line where he was last time.
Able to steal one in the 4th. Right now, it's a nice draw facing shot stone.
Whoa! No!
Well, starts its move now. Starts to walk over. Starts the walk right down beside. It just took so long to cross center. That little difference.
That's still a really well-placed stone. So they're considering the run back. It's a little bit of a dangerous option if you should happen to catch your own. Potential steal for China. If you happen to hit it in the perfect spot. 3 for Sweden.
Is there risk playing it? You could give up a steal of 2?
I think there is a risk. But I think you'll see this played at maybe a bit of softer weight.
So the one closer to center, is he attempting, or the angle?
He looked at both, so I'm not sure. It would depend on the weight.
Well, it took a while, but we're seeing a few runbacks now. Nicholas Adin, last of 5. Well, get one, and we'll stick it there to score their 2. No double, but the run back and a deuce, and the lead into the 5th end break as the teams will take their little bit of a breather. Good time after Sweden and Nicholas Adin score 2. Well, look, the summary so far through the first 5 ends of play.
And looking back, Jia Liang drawing against 2.
别停！哦哦 ，nice draw。
Hits the forefoot, gets on the board, and in the 4th end, some clever rock placement by the Chinese forces Nicholas Sedin to a run back. Short run, just over curls a bit, leaves the Chinese stone counting 1. And with that steal, ties up the game at 2-2. Then in the 5th end, 1 run back followed by another for Nicholas Sedin. This one an angle run. Hit perfectly. Sits shot 2 for the lead, 4-2.
Well, no surprise he made that to score 2 points. At some point, we'll jump over another Scandinavian nation in Norway, taking on Switzerland. A win by Norway. They're already into the 1-2. That would make them the #1 seed into the playoffs. While Switzerland, 1 win. They're guaranteed a tiebreaker then. 2 wins, they're in. First have to knock off Thomas Ulsrud. Here he has a draw to the forefoot to pick up a 2nd point. Switzerland trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Norway not helping that. They'll get 2 and a 5-1 lead into their 5th end break over on sheet D. While Canada, Italy, Canada can get 1st place with a win and a Norway loss. Can finish no lower than 2nd. So they're in that 1-2 game. And 4th stone thrower, Amos Mazaner. And this Italy team still technically alive, trying to keep that. And he makes the run back, sticks it, score 2, and tie that game up. The young Italian 4th. They're all square 4-4. So those are the 2 scores there. And then on sheet B, the U.S., as we showed you, up 3-1 over Russia. Here it is draw 16. Important games as we try to round out the playoff field heading into tomorrow's playoff round. Well, through 5 ends, here's a look at some of the numbers. 4-2 is the score on the scoreboard. Advantage percentage overall, draws, but the hits to the Chinese side, surprisingly, and a 1-1 or 1 each stolen points.
Yeah,
don't normally see a team out-hit Sweden.
Yeah, there's a couple of those hits in the 4th end for Nicholas Sedin that just ran a little straighter and then over curled a little bit as well. So hitting him statistically, but that draw percentage is going to be tough to beat.
13-4.
Well, always quicker coming out of the break, and Christopher Sundgren goes back 12-foot, uncharacteristic for him. So Zhang Jialiang will try and use that, take advantage. First time skipping, but in his international career playing Sweden, not a good track record. Round robin plays 3-8, and in playoff games 0-2. Of course, losing the bronze medal game to Nicholas Adin at the Olympic Winter Games, playing lead for Leo Ray. Corner guard goes out.
So let's see the weight adjustment here from Christopher Sundgren, who is playing a great game and tournament. So we'll forgive him that first rock he just threw to the back 12.
Kom igen. Ja, bra sop. Helt okej där.
Well, the center line guard, that one in the rings, really blocks off that out turn side. Try and make the draw there. As I said it, they changed the turn.
They changed the turn. I think that they had the same exact thought and decided to go to the other side of the ice, where they knew where to put the broom down.
See the comparison for the championship to the game. Overall numbers for the tournament, 83, even on par. Well,
Again, this quick ice in the sixth end, it is not unique.
let's look over, keep an eye on the US and Russia doing battle on sheet B. Yevgeny Arkhipov and his Russian team come in 2-7, out of playoff contention, but trying to improve on their record and play spoiler against Team USA. Arkhipov trying to, looks like as a draw, get a second point. And we'll come down, we'll tap his own. They'll make sure it's one, but looks like a chance at maybe two.
Yeah, missed
So only a
opportunity
single.
there for Russia.
3-2, the US leading, and there goes everything just like that, in behind the back of the rings.
Yeah, we were just talking about the speed of the ice in the sixth end. After the fifth end break, the ice crew comes out, they run the mops, the ice gets to sit for a little bit. Then almost without fail, the players end up deeper. The leads throw deeper. And at some point, I'd love to see. Most of the games we've been watching, the sixth end, at least one of the leads puts a rock heavier than called.
Well, Badushin looking to go right around with the out turn.
On the wide side,
Don't see that play a lot. Didn't like the way the lineup of those guards were set up. See where we are. We're here on sheet A. So we played that left side of your screen to go around the corner.
yeah. So the board side of the ice, which has been running a hair straighter. And with the 2-point lead, the Swedes take no time
You see
in
the
deciding
numbers.
to peel and keep it simple.
95% Christian Lindstrom. He's having an outstanding game. Well, a really big scrub to try and get that one over the hog line. And they won't, so the hog stone for Ba Duxin means an open hit at Shot Rock. Maybe he was thinking it would be too quick coming in this sixth end.
The overcorrection has led to the hog stone.
So a little hit and flop, sit on the side of the button. Well, trying to use the lone stone out in front, generate the offense. Again, sets top of the button. Oscar Eriksson a little lower than his tournament average, 77% on the game. So little roll away, just pretty quiet.
Simple. Yeah, no need to overthrow that. Quiet and controlled weight.
Really working that one, as they will chip it, roll out of the rings and stay in play. So an unforced error, just seen that throughout the week, just untimely. Zhao Dujia unable to help his skipper out, man, his team out by not removing that stone.
Yeah, and this definitely, the momentum was already in the Swedish team's favor on this end with the hog stone. And if Skip Nicholas Edin can bury a rock underneath that tight center guard, they will force China into a single point perhaps.
Perfekt linje, kör linje! Kör för linje också! Kom igen! 8! Linje, kom igen! Topp 4! Gå, 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 gå! Hela vägen Krille, kom igen! Kör, kör, kör! Det är bra det.
Well, using the sweepers there, they're able to get that one top part of the house.
Yeah, it came up about a rock or a foot shorter than where they wanted it. Maybe even a foot and a half shorter than where they wanted it.
Well, Zhang came in, good numbers, been playing well the last 5 games, all above 80. Playing 91% this morning. Looking to play that out-turn draw right around everything.
力量够，7、8，8区，
Starting to bend.
Well, can they
Gotta get
get
around
by?
that one.
Ever so close. Did it maybe just touch it and straighten the hair?
I think it did, just a little bit. Unfortunately for China, that's behind the tee line. Let's see. See if we can get a little.
Very close.
Yeah, just a little bit maybe on the
Tough
back
to see if it
side.
just
We're gonna
straightens the
look
handle
again.
a little bit. Tough to see with the sweeper getting right above it. Well, fortunately, unable to get a clean look at it with the way the sweepers were positioned on that one.
Yeah, valiant effort from the cameraman, giving us every angle they've got. With this last stone for Nicholas Sedin in the 6th end.
He can weld one on and really put the pressure on, make it a small area to try and get to. It's on a different path than that previous stone by Team China. And it will sit for shot. Anything left for 2, or is it just a straight draw for 1?
It's a draw for 1. I think you call the draw and you play it, and if by any chance you've got line and you can use your sweepers to make the tap, you do. But in your head, as the skip, you need to be throwing clean to the tee line, weight. Because if you throw the tap, you might sit on the outside, and Sweden could steal 2.
So facing shot stone, just through the draw in this path. Zhang Zhaliang has to be careful. Get out a little wider, and it will be a different path.
Wider line. It's all about weight.
Well, let
There
it go.
goes.
Make its move now. Does it have the weight? Drag it right. Get to the button. Get there far enough. Great shot. Zhang Zhaliang and China get 1. Draw in, get their single, but still trail. Team Sweden here, it's draw 16 at Scotiabank Center in Halifax, Canada.
Welcome back to the Ford World Men's Curling Championships, coming to you from the Scotiabank Center in Halifax, Canada.
往下擦3。
You're watching Team China play against Team Sweden
不能擦
in our
呀
feature matchup.
也就这样。
那边儿
出手。啊。
Team Sweden very true to form, looking for a corner guard when they've got the hammer. Going to take every advantage of the free guard zone. So the free guard zone in our sport is the area in front of the rings. And the first 4 rocks, if they're out in front of the rings, cannot be taken all the way out of play. So it's free space to use to set up your strategy.
这个线路怎么样？只是力量。
刷的位置大一点啊。
The first rock thrown by Wang Chenbo hung a little bit outside, so they are electing to throw a second guard.
这咋掉这么大？
Well, 3 stones in, and the 7th end, well, in the 6th end, USA, Russia. Last stone here, John Schuster. Chance at a deuce.
Just needs a hit and a stick.
Always nice when a skipper is able to have just that open look at either a draw or a hit, get 2, and a 3-point lead in a must-win game.
It's even nicer when your skip executes it. After a nice game plan leads to a simple score of 2, Team USA in a must-win situation, up 5-2 on Team Russia.
Well, the U.S., they need a win, and they need Switzerland to have a loss.
And right now, Norway is helping out in that department.
Sure. Wonder if they had a little conversation before the game.
You know, all of these teams want to win every game. There is no there's no behind-the-scenes wrangling happening. And as we move through our Olympic quadrennium towards the 2018 Olympics, performance at the World Championships is significantly impactful. That's how your country will ultimately qualify. So all of the teams that are playing here this week have pre-qualified their nation for the Olympic qualifier, which is an open event that'll happen in just before the Olympics in 2018. That will provide the last 2 spots.
John Schuster and that American team, one of the teams to qualify for the Sochi Olympics. We'll see the double peel, hoping maybe get the 3rd yellow, but we'll just open things up.
Yeah, open things up.
Shot stone for Sweden right now, and love to try and get a score of 2 or more. China try and get a some sort of a steal set up. Just can't afford to give up another multiple score.
Yeah, a halfway center guard, halfway to even long here is the play.
可以，可以，可以，没事，不用太近也行。这4，这边还是4，这边就一直带着就行。但这边表好像是没怎么变。
Ja, vi har mer corners eller? Eller bara runda något annat, jag vet inte.
So because it's long, Sweden's starting to think about other options.
Klipp den.
They go back to the peel. See how fast this one's thrown? This one looks like control weight peel for Team Sweden.
We get a chance to see the
6.5 seconds, almost 7. Okay, 7 seconds.
We've seen a few quite quicker than quite a bit quicker than that one. Be curious, the one that Oscar Eriksson threw earlier, how quick it got down there.
Yeah, it was likely around 4.5 to 5 seconds. So.
Can anyone get under 4 seconds? Maybe is that the barrier?
I don't know. I bet they can. Even if you can throw it that hard, you still need to throw it accurately. So lots of people can throw it hard. You need to throw it hard and with precision.
We saw where the broom was, indicating that's just respecting who they're playing and what the next shot is going to be. The peel to try and get them both.
Skulle du vicka in hit så blir det helt okej också. Ja. Det går att snärta skotten, men det är precis. Du kan träffa en fjärdedel. Vilken hand?
This one might have some the way where they have to hit it.
We're looking to get this.
Yep. Yep.
See what this one is for Oscar Eriksson.
Whoa.
Just a little under as they roll that one off on the peel.
Yeah, he just threw it a little light. Just a little light.
We'll have to have a conversation with him about that one. Just underthrowing those peels.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch them throw that kind of weight, though. It is really controlled. It is not wild. They come out with such strength and accuracy that it's one of their great weapons. But as we saw statistically, they're throwing fantastic draws and touch shots this game.
Oh, with that peel now, trying to make a play on those ones in the rings. They're trying to roll them off behind cover. And we'll miss that one. They'll roll that shooter over to the side. They just touched that redstone. Look over Canada, Italy. Canada is that stone back part of the rings, and chance here, Pat Simmons. What else in that game? Chance at 2.
Deuces are wild in the Canada-Italy game.
We've seen big scores throughout this championship so far. They're just guiding this one in for another deuce. So 6-4, Canada leading Italy. Canada assured to be in that 1-2 game. Italy needs to win out. And here's the scenario for them. They need 2 Switzerland losses, a Finland loss, a US loss, and 2 wins today to get to a tiebreaker.
Outstanding math, Luke Coley.
I did my research.
I didn't go that far down the leaderboard, that far out.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ja, borde bli helt okej. Snyggt. Mycket bra.
You know, he can throw the big weight shots and then that fantastic come around. That it's a fresh piece of ice. No one has thrown there yet, and they pick the perfect speed. They put the broom down in the right place. And if you had decided to just walk that rock down yourself and place it somewhere, that'd be where you'd put it.
Do you play that with Oscar Eriksson being a lefty? That side of the sheet has a bit of an edge, an advantage to play that. If he's not a lefty, do you see them play that maybe?
That's a really good question. You might see them come under center at that point, and come at the corner guards over the center line if you were right-handed, which is what Team China's going to do.
Force isn't the end of the world here for this Chinese team. They just can't afford to give up 2 or more. Well, that one really moves. It actually gets in behind.
Antingen eller.
Overburies that guard.
Ja, jag tror en sån där. Ja. Jag tar den som eventuellt ska vara lite rakare.
Ja.
Okej. Här någonstans. Topplock, bajta locket. Ja. Deras splitta T-line. Ta den som är eventuellt lite rakare.
Siben. Heter Siben.
Limma snedfrysen. Kan vi ligga skotte vore det nydligt, men måste inte göra det. Vi spelar för att sätta någon skjutning eller något för 3 sen. Han kommer måste garda. Finns ingenstans att dra.
You can see how much that curled past the guard and all the way underneath,
Studs ut är väl det sämsta.
driving the Swedes to play the freeze. Looking to go from one edge of the forefoot to the other.
Känns lite lös. 4. Ja, ni har den.
Adin's first in this 7th end. A win, and he's got hammer in the 3-4 game.
Perfekt linje. Hård, linje, kom igen. Happy, okej. Hård.
Well, got to go try and hold this on the proper line. Very nice, perfectly on the corner.
Crushing sweep by the front end from Sweden.
Like, it wasn't a bad draw by Team China, but just better by Sweden.
Yeah, we get another look at Matt Hamilton from Team USA, who's
Just trying to get more airtime, probably.
yeah, he's playing a little bit with Team Sweden.
See the footwork there and leaning on the inside of that back foot.
Putting all the weight they can on the brush heads while still moving it as quickly as possible. Drag that rock to a perfect spot.
这样粘可以行。对，这个粘磕一点也行。最好是正粘的，因为你要粘偏一点，我正粘的话不赢的。他再投一个也是2分。那你就这局真给他2分都行。行，我先问粘。对。可以稍微有一点这种。
How big are those 2 red corner guards looking right now for the run back? And now that rock is frozen.
Yeah, if this is off angle just a bit, it could be a very low risk run back.
Yeah, those rocks are those are looking really big. Either one of those run with any kind of accuracy back into a pile.
We've seen the run backs made already.
Yeah, it has a chance for a fairly large crooked number to hit the scoreboard.
So final stone here for Zhang Zhaliang, Chinese skip without the hammer.
Needing, this is a critical rock.
He could make a good freeze and it would still leave a big shot.
It will.
Hard! 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 Hard!
Well, who is shot right now looks like, I'd say that Redstone is shot.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It looks like
Run back.
they may be a little gun shy. They had the accidental pick and the run back in 4.
Eller, jag vet inte, sätter du den här kan den gå precis ut kanske. Ja. Kanske. Ja, vi skjuter den.
Can they see enough to play straight down, or is it underneath cover enough?
I think it's underneath cover enough. You need to hit on the hidden side. So they're going for it.
Man kan ju slå den direkt, men det enda vi kan tappa på är att ta för tunt.
2013 world champion. Sweden sent a different team last year to the Worlds. The Swedish contingent in Oscar Eriksson went, lost the final last year, so Nicholas back for the first time since winning the World Championship. Run back onto the pack. Spill those yellows out. Look at them both go. And it's for 3. Run back, dangerous weapon. It's in Nicholas Sedin's bag. He pulls that club out and scores 3 here in the 7th end.
Ja, skönt. Kändes som de gick så hårt för att stjäla, så kändes som kunde tappa en stulen. Fortfarande bra läge. Hade lite ont om tid också, kände ta 3 nu.
Well, Nicholas Sedin now a commanding 4-point lead. Luke Coley and SWE-CHN with you for Draw 16, 2015 Ford World Men's Curling Championship. We're at the Scotiabank Center, downtown Halifax, Canada. Great setting for a World Championship. Beautiful scenery. Still lots of snow.
Yeah, but just a fantastic city to be in. Everyone's so welcoming. Lots to do, lots to see.
Lots to eat.
Beautiful, delicious food is everywhere.
Always a bad thing when you have to decide what you're eating for dinner.
Yeah, I think the real disappointment is there's really only 3 meals a day. Now, with the big lead in the scoreboard, the Swedes are going to want the play in the rings. The Chinese are going to need the play in front of the rings. They're going to need lots of cover to hide rocks behind. I think the common practice here for the Chinese will be to throw 2 corner guards.
Well, let's look at the numbers here in this 8th end, compare the leads. And Sundgren, again, out-curling his opponent. He's been the top lead all week. No surprise there.
Yeah, and Wang Chenbo is really curling a nice game. And it's just very difficult to keep pace with the #1 lead in the tournament right now.
Well, they had Christopher Sundgren come out actually a couple games. He's been the top lead. Missed a couple games early in the round robin play. Heinrich Lee came in, played lead. And just wasn't feeling all that well. Just didn't have the energy that was needed, and felt it was better to take a seat back, try and rest, recuperate, and then come back. And obviously that seemed to work.
Yeah, clearly that was an excellent choice to give him a little bit of rest, because it has just led to fantastic play.
Sometimes you see a player come out and you don't play a good game and you want to just mix it up, let them see it behind. But in this case, just possible illness or fatigue. As the second corner will go out. Now we'll look over sheet D, Switzerland, Norway. Swiss need to win. And right now, Switzerland line 2. Thomas Olsrud just wants to make sure he scores now with the hammer and the 3-point lead. And make the double, actually bring one of those other ones into play. brings that top one in. Doesn't hold the shooter, but as I said, just score. So 6-2, Norway leading after 7. A win, Norway gets top spot. So 2 corners are in play.
And a nice shot selection here. Not asking for a takeout, asking for a tap and roll under and create a double corner guard on the one side of the sheet and backing underneath the other corner guard. Trying to get the most production possible. This is over curling a little bit on them.
Well, they leave another one of their stones out in front. Another rock in the rings they can freeze to come down to later.
And this is a statistically a huge advantage to Team Sweden. Christian Lindstrom playing at 90%.
He's had a few games, a handful of games in the 90s already this week. It's been up and down at times, but he's picked up his play. So the team sort of got, lack of better terms, got their feet underneath of them. Get both those yellows moving. Spins one, top 12. So right now, Sweden lying 2. 8th end.
Yeah, and that corner guard is really long and going to be difficult for Team China to use. They're going to try and create a little bit of traffic in the rings.
Well, looking to use those in the house. Just a little chip off the top for Badushin.
Aldrig. Wow. Krille, micken. Kör på micken. Kom igen. Snyggt.
Well, removing one of their opponent's stones, just rolling in a little bit. I think with the lead, you might have peeled the corner guard, or not a threat that high.
It's just not a threat. That stone is just too high at this point. And the Swedes, smart enough to know a stone that is not in the paint, not in play, cannot be hung on the scoreboard against you.
Look at the numbers for thirds. Advantage again to Team Sweden. Rare seeing Oscar Eriksson lower numbers. Well, just again manipulating angles, not playing too much weight to move around.
Yeah, just looking to take advantage however possible.
I've seen this Chinese team a lot this week. They really seem to grow even strategically throughout the week, just ways they can manipulate stones, try and generate offense with the hammer.
Yeah, the vision of Jia Liang is really, really good.
Sticken är 75-80.
Okay.
I think as he gets a little bit more execution, command of execution in the lineup in front of him and himself, they could easily be a medal contender.
Well, Sweden a medal contender. Shots just like that. Oscar Eriksson. Yeah, okay, I just made that double. Yep. We're lying 3. Good shot.
Yeah. Oscar keeps a pretty level, cool head out there at all times.
Would not want to sit at a poker table with this back end Team Sweden very much.
Although Nicholas might give you a smile and a nod and a wink periodically. He might give you some clues. There you go.
Oh, there's the smile.
Yeah.
Just some good shooting there. Both sides. China has to give himself a chance. That's not an easy shot.
This one's got some line.
Well, Switzerland, Norway, keeping our eye on sheet D. Chance here. Mark Pfister. Opportunity to get a deuce. Keeping it fairly open is Thomas Olsrud in Norway with the 4-point lead. The Swiss team got off to a hot 5-1 start, have lost 3 straight. 2 of them runaways to Canada and Sweden. This one, open draw into the rings. 2 points, 6-4 after 8.
Yeah, the outcome of that game over on sheet D is significant to the players in the field.
Switzerland sits alone right now in that 4th position, 5-4. And Nicholas Edin makes that yellow rock go away. Big difference in this game, the 7th end. And Nicholas Edin, we talked about how many runbacks he plays. He plays lots, so it hasn't had to have that many. Showed the finesse shot, set it up, and then the run back right into the pocket. And there it is, the 3, and a 7-3 lead. Leaves us where we sit right now.
Yeah, and with a brilliant shot on his last one, Nicholas Edin not only removed the Chinese stone, but took all of the stones out of the back of the rings. So now there is nothing behind to freeze to.
Zhang Liang. His first. Desperately looking for a deuce. Trying to use anything they can just around that one. And just uses anything, just trying to draw around. And look at the skip numbers. Nicholas Edin, 75% on his hits, but still an advantage, and overall advantage 82-77. Nicholas, the 2nd ranked skip, tied Zhang Liang, 82%.
Yep. Janet. Janet. Hard. Hard. Hard.
And the missed run back. There's a miss hit and a chance at 2 now. The draw was good enough, and he got the error from his opponent.
The veteran skip not happy. This over curls. Even the great sweeping. Can't hold it. Gives China an open hit for 2.
So final stone, 8th end. Chinese skip. Hit, stick, and an opportunity to cut the lead in half.
Easy, easy.
Easy, guys. Easy. Okay.
Wang Ba on the sweep. Nose hit. There it is, 2 on the board. 7-5 now, 2 ends remaining. China will have to go for the steal in 9. Well, both skips watching on there down at the away end here as we play the 9th end. Scotiabank Center, Luke Coley and Swisshelm for the second to last round robin draw. Ford World Men's Curling Championship. And is it all out to steal down 2?
I would think so. This stone again, just hanging a little bit straight on the lead for Team China as we look in over to United States versus Russia. Skip John Schuster looking to make a tap. In order to get his point, maybe even 2.
Well, trying to have enough to punch that yellow out. Don't catch enough of that top one. And it's a steal of 1. Russia inching closer, trying to play spoiler at 2 and 7 coming in.
And Sweden knowing that China is going to go hard for the steal, and that means double guards out in front of the rings. Their defensive move is to put a rock in the back 8 on the corner.
Well, first one to the wide side. So you see the big screen on the center, over center ice here. All 4 sheets.
Bra linje.
Christopher Sundgren,
Perfekt linje. Perfekt linje.
top 8 foot
Full åt fot bara.
is the call here.
Ja, bara full åt fot. Behöver inte gömma något mer. Kommer där lite grann. Ja, skönt. Bra, perfekt.
Just superb. Perfect spot, not too deep. Really tough to use, to have to move it in order to try and use it to your advantage.
Just incredible control there from the lead. His teammates aren't having to pound anything all the way down the ice. They're not right off. It's just nice, steady weight, allowing the ice to taking advantage of the curl available with the right speed. It's impressive play.
Well, by the top, now get by the second guard, get by it, and we'll tap that one back on the nose.
And there's different ways to accomplish the same thing. The Chinese team seems to be fighting the ice and the line a little bit, but with that great sweep, they do it perfectly.
Close to the top one, and then the curl. They get even closer to the second one, and may have caught a little rub to straighten it.
Yeah.
But it's gone. It jams on the side, though. Two centers, a stone back button.
Yeah.
You have second shot on the side.
All of a sudden, Team China's got a little pep to their step. The Rocks line up in favor for the steal with a little bit of execution and maybe a half shot from Team Sweden. The steal is on.
Need to make this one, though, for Ba Duxin. Key rock in the end right now.
Got to get this one there. Got to get this one there.
Well, over curls, comes up short. Second shot. Christian Lindstrom, who caught that one on the side on his previous one. Try and peel the top, catch it on the side stone. And go over the top of that yellow stone. Still shot stone on the button belonging to Team Sweden. Zhao Duzha and Team China trying to steal. First attempt to get around that center onto the one back button. Over curled.
Encouraging their sweepers.
And that one will over curl as well and touch the guard. As spins towards the one on the button.
Någon dubbel eller? Nej, grymt tunn. Okej, kom där, kolla nu. Det är inget hål, men om jag missar den så... Ja, det är inte helt fantastiskt. Stenen och andra alternativet att skjuta den här. Den gäller inte, tar man lite tjock. Nej, jag får spela den här, va? Den här går inte heller, i bästa fall så kickar man in den. Ja, nej, inget heller, då driver man ju med den. Ja. Det känns som att spela den här. Ja. Alltså tar du... Så träffar jag fyran så den har fart ut i bot så du behöver träffa 35 ungefär så touchar du den. Ja, ja, en femtedel, sjättedels träff då. Kan man stanna bättre än den så är det en bonus. Alltså... Så länge vi träffar den först så är det ändå okej. Även om vi ska ta det tjockt och rulla ovanför så...
Oscar Eriksson, the reigning silver medalist from the Worlds, and also has a bronze medal from the Olympics last year. It's a pretty good curling season.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And add in a
He'd
European championship in December,
Yeah,
late last year.
pretty great 2014. I think he'd like to improve that a little bit this year with
Make the double, roll them away. Get rid of those yellow Chinese stones. 2-point, Sweden lead. Sweden has the hammer. And right out the side.
and
The old back it up, spinner out.
yeah, that much momentum goes out easily. Shooter
Keep
goes out
spinning and
easily.
not a problem.
我也感觉还行。3颗。可以可以。我带带啊，只是力量。
Does open up that stone, pardon me, back button. Freeze right on top of. Well, little bounce.
Now I think the double's available.
Looking next door, John Schuster. Looking for the blank attempt at ninth end, and China also looking in, knowing if they have slim chances, they need U.S. to lose to have any chance. There, the U.S. will have the hammer, a 1-point lead, heading to 10.
I'm going to the bathroom, boys. Let's make some ticks. Right. 2, Johnny. You want me to stay down there? No.
Comes Oscar Ericsson's double attempt. It's curling hard.
Well, not a bad result, actually.
No, that's a great result.
Kills that one off the back of the button, still lies 1. Now there's nothing protecting any stone that's thrown by Team China. That's what weight will do.
Yeah. They're still going to try and go under that center guard.
Again, China needing to win here, get lots of help. Need U.S. to lose in this game. They need Finland to lose later, and Switzerland to lose the game they're playing now and later tonight against Japan.
But in order for any of that to mean anything, Team China's going to have to work this comeback. They're going to have to steal their way to victory.
Well, try and get this one buried. It's just staying on that side of the center line. Comes down. They try their best. Valiant effort. Sweepers can't do anything.
Yeah, it just takes a really different line. Clearly too much ice. You need to go aggressively under those guards when you have the opportunity.
In the scenario, you need to have that one buried.
Yeah. You can't afford to be careful with broom placement on your skips rocks in this situation. You've got to be aggressive.
Bara vicka till kvasten. Så måste han göra någonting åt det.
Just wants to hit and roll a little bit to the outside.
Vicka istället.
That's
more
not
than
where
they
he
wanted to.
wanted. That's not where he wanted that rock at all. Underneath the center guard and behind the tee line.
Great chance now after that miscue. Over curls for Nicholas and rolled to just awful place.
Yeah, Nicholas is going to have to start thinking about drawing the pin with his last.
Jag nästan överdrev det.
Sen 确保力量啊。
So we'll get to compare ice speed.
貌似有点大，还行，貌似有点大。可以。8区，下路没问题。哦，下路没问题。可以。没问题，没问题。哦，直线路。没问题。clean。不大不大。哦，clean。有点大，有点大。哦，有点大。
Well, you see the hog-to-hog time come down. And side of the button. Run back, pick it out, or draw down with a little tap.
Svårt att veta curlen där över linan med något mjukt. Dra locket fritt. Antingen där eller skjuta den. Dra. Ja, jag gillar att skjuta. Okay.
So they've gone with the run back.
Jag gillar att skjuta. Det är fan lite svårt med både fart och linje in där. Så här hade vi på den när du sköt lite snett. Och så. Ja.
So, roll to a bad spot on his first, and now can make up for it, though. Make this run back.
Yeah, and they're...
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Try and go straight back, pick that one out. They'll roll that one away, but very fortunate he didn't give up a steal of 2 where he hit that one.
Yeah.
Mistake there means a steal and a 1-point game. Here's another look at this one. This doesn't curl up the little bit it does at the end. He may be giving up a steal of 2.
Yeah, it was very close.
So he'll have to tighten things up heading to this 10th end. 1-point game. Sweden with a win gets 3rd place into the playoffs. Well, back in Sheet A is our feature game, China, taking on Sweden, and China capitalized on the misses. Got a steal. We play the 10th end now. Luke Coley and Swisshelm. And a lot on the line for Sweden. This is their first game of the day. They can take care of business right now, get into the playoffs, not leave it to the last draw tonight.
Yeah, they want to take the pressure off themselves, but
now we'll see.
Team China has been excellent at stealing, and they're going to need to do it again here.
Yep. Yep. Get him out. Yep.
Christopher Sundgren looking for the tick. And we'll just touch that one over. They'll try and roll this one right out. Keep this end clean.
Yeah, I really like how they play those ticks. They play them tight. They play them with about hack weight and lots of rotation. That way they lose the shooter, gets out of play, makes their peels much easier. As opposed to when you play kind of back 8 weight, then everything sticks around. You've got lots of traffic out there, lots of congestion in front of the rings.
Definitely different ways of playing that.
Okej. Jag tar en utsida.
Well, there's a look at those 2 guards out in front and the tick shot.
So now they're going to play it into it based on the lineup of those 2 stones. So kind of a change of technique. It's not just one way to make a tick shot. They're showing us a couple of different methods.
Nej! Nej, nej! Aldrig, den är bra. Kala. Fint, Krippa. Mycket bra.
Well, they touch it over towards the other one. Again, shooter goes away, so
yeah,
no reds. So as a catcher, so it makes it easier to peel. And a double peel available.
Really, for those leads out there watching at home, this is an athlete that you want to pay attention to and emulate. The consistency and variety in his game is really fun to watch. Really fun to watch. China's going to take advantage of their single timeout, and their coach Li Hongchen will make his way to the ice, and they'll discuss some of their options, how best to capitalize on the 2 rocks out in front.
Well, we have our first final of draw 16. Norway defeating Switzerland. So Norway is your top seed heading to the playoff round, 10-1. Switzerland loses their 5th. They will play tonight against Japan. Finland will play Italy. And we'll see where the U.S. end up if they will stay at 5 losses. Teams with 6 still alive with that Switzerland loss.
So after the timeout, Team China has elected to put that tight guard.
Well, they talk it through. They know double peel is probably the call. They want to get a guard that they can draw something behind.
Den dubbeln då. De 2 som är farligaste stenarna.
Där. Tar man den dubbeln så går man ovanför där. Det går att missa och ändå gå ovanför.
Jag gillar att göra den dubbeln i alla fall. Det är de som är de farligaste stenarna. Ja. Men är den svår så gör någon lättare dubbel i så fall. Kör den då.
Det är dock en ganska given dubbel.
Okej. Okay.
Ja, jag kan leva på trippen också.
Ja, jag gillar nog den, ja.
Okej, den finns.
Skulle du missa så tar man ju den här.
Couple different double peels you can make.
Yeah, they're just lining it up to see which one's the best.
Is the danger one the one closer to the rings?
It is, but that's a single rock. They have a 1-point lead.
Yep.
We know that they can make the run back.
I'll just get them all going anyway and tap that one to the side. So the double peel, the triple peel for that matter, pushing that one side of the 12-foot.
Yeah, and just before China called the timeout, this, I believe, Zhang Zhaliang expressed his concern on the rock placement here, that this is exactly what could happen. But after consulting with the coach, the team decided that was still the way to go.
No. Okay. Just save.
Två tredjedelar.
Well, looking for the peel, try and slash it at it. That's where this Swedish team gets dangerous.
Yeah, and this is trying to get the most production possible out of the rocks.
Well, get
and
one.
He's got it. Oh, it
and sticks it in the rings.
Oh, how does it stick with that much weight? That is.
Hangs around just biting top of the 12-foot. Still not a danger rock, but
no,
could
but
come into play.
You know, at this rate, if that rock stays in the rings, at some point, Nicholas will be facing game. And by facing game, he'll be facing 2 Chinese counters in the rings, and he will have to execute a made shot. It'll probably be a fairly simple shot given the layout of this end, but you never want to have to face game against you, especially when you've had a lead and now it's been chipped away and chipped away. You know, if we think back the last couple of ends, Nicholas Sedin has not made a called shot in 2 ends, and he's come close. He's had some close to perfect, but not perfect execution in the last 2 ends.
Well, you see the time clock's a little bit higher for the Chinese side. The single peel doesn't catch that one. Still plenty of stones left to come in this 10th end. Well, as that peel's going disappear shortly, we'll cut over final stone here for John Schuster. Outturn draw. A couple of counters for Russia right now. 1 back 4-foot. U.S. with a 1-point lead. And has to come down to those stones. Chip and will slide by. And it will be a steal and an extra end on sheet B. So the U.S. needs a win. Stay alive.
Sorry, man. Freaking can't miss that one.
So they go to an extra. Jump back to our game. The peel was made.
as we're in Skip's Rocks.
近一点，远一点。
这个可以下一下啊。
站线。
OK。
好球。
这球他找完就折中间来了。
一折中间，咱啪补个位。
Well, the young Chinese skip and their team have put up a valiant fight late in this game after giving up that 3 and 7. Looking at the peel and saw Oscar Eriksson. He was lining up, try and catch that one on the side.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, yep.
This is the 4th try at it.
Well, looks close and will get it, so nothing in play now. Wide open.
It was a really good time for Nicholas Sedin to find that perfect rock placement.
You could see him hop after his delivery. He got on his knees for a second, got back up, was looking, staring that one down, knowing how important it was for him to pick the side stone off.
Yeah, it just reduces the pressure on him by just significantly.
1 point lead, 10th end. Where do you go? Do you draw to the side and see if he draws or hits?
Yeah, you're looking for him to make a choice. He's going to hit. He's 1 up, so you know he's going to hit. There's I would say there's no way he's going to draw. So where do you hide a stone wide open in the rings? I think you try and remember a place where you might have gotten a miss, or if you know anything about your opposition's tendencies.
So they go to the side. Nicholas already heading down. Full confidence in Oscar there. They'll clean the path. Make it go away. Doesn't have to stick around. And he's the 3 seed into the playoff round.
Yeah, they've used their timeout just to stop their clock, not to actually use it for a timeout.
Not wasting any time. Nicholas Sedin looking to get into the playoffs. Will do that. That will eliminate China. Sweden moves to 7 and 3. They'll be the 3 seed. China drops to 4 and 7 after the 7-6 Sweden victory.
And the winners acknowledging the crowd and their fans. Stay with us as we will move over to one of the other 2 games that's still out on the ice.
Meglio, difficile.
If we play, because this isn't a gimme, that's for sure. If we played like,
Timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Okay. Just through, half to 8.
I don't like that. I like either just drawing the, probably just the draws.
Are we still going to be shot?
What's that?
We
Yes.
touch ours, are we still going to be shot?
Yeah,
If
like we got to hit
hammer
that
it?
pretty.
Like you got all of it. The only other shot I saw was like just inside nose. Boom.
Yeah, I think that's more complicated than just the straight pick.
For sure it is, but if
The draw, I mean, I don't mind the draw, but it's a
you got
different
tons
line
of room.
again, right?
I wouldn't say tons of room, but you got anywhere from a half rock or thinner.
Yeah,
And you
half is close. Might carry it a little bit, but
That's why I don't think we got to throw a gun. Like, just
Yeah, you got anywhere from an
Yeah.
inch to a third for sure, right?
So
like
you're
the pick?
thinking bumperish? Is that what you're thinking?
no, we're
Or-
thinking
I
just
don't
throwing
like that.
firm,
Okay.
Yeah.
just to make it less complicated.
Like if you
mean, It's like
if you
a
hit it onto the 2,
paper
what's
under,
that?
right? So
Yeah.
If I hit it onto the 2, it's going to be real close. Probably lose.
So that's
think
thinner
so?
than half then, right?
Yeah.
If you hit half a rock or less with firm weight, we win.
Okay. That's
I
the
agree.
shot then.
I think that's
That's-
a great choice.
That's easier than.
Yeah, because that draw is it's not a gimme.
So we've switched over to Team Canada playing Team Italy, where deuces are wild. This is the last shot of the game. It is all tied up, 6-6. John Morris in the house with Italians Joel Retornez and Amos Mozaner looking on. They've done everything they can to set themselves up for a steal here in the victory. Skip Pat Simmons looking for a firm weight.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Clean, clean, clean.
Lean's a good sign. Victory goes to Canada, 7-6 over Italy. A valiant effort by the Italians. Nice acknowledgement from the home crowd here.
Straight off, huh? I don't think that does us anything, does it? Straight off.
So we switched over to the last game left here in the afternoon draw. Extra end. Team USA with the hammer playing the Russians. Third, Tyler George executes the peel nicely. Skip Yevgeny Arkhipov for the Russians, asking for, I believe, another guard. From third, Alexei Stukalski.
Plays into the jam, though.
We got to, I think I like playing this, but we got to get past our red, that's all. I mean, I think if you hit anything thicker than 2/3, it goes by us.
Yep.
Deal. Whoa, whoa. Close, yep. Whoa.
Yep, yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, Ty, pick, buddy.
Well thrown rock by third Tyler George, who's having an outstanding game, playing in the 90th percentile here.
В принципе, мы его и закрыть можем потом, если он лучше.
Да, да, конечно. Давай, с этой.
Если мы подставим гард, он может перевести просто в 4 фута.
Он такой далекий, он достается в любом случае.
Лех, чуть-чуть еще больше. Ну, видишь, Лехин не довалился. Дай 8. Да.
So, back end for Team USA. Playing this extra end after a last shot missed by John Schuster. Had to keep a rock in the forefoot and just drew a little heavy.
Антон, щетку. Легко? Легко. Вес. Нет. Воу. Нет, нет, нет. Стой.
So that rock goes a little deep.
Да, видишь, перевалился опять. Hi?
Just want to roll right to biting force.
Just wondering if we even want to stay, honestly.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, roll
I mean,
8 foot. Board. It's rolling 2 feet your way.
Yep.
Yep, hard.
Clean,
Clean.
clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Hard!
Hard.
Hard to it!
Hard.
Right to it! Right
Clean,
to it!
clean. Yep.
Whoa!
Clean, clean, clean,
Whoa.
clean, clean. Beauty.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Good shot, John. It's good. Perfect.
Trying to give him less forefoot to draw to here.
So the hit and roll executed by John Schuster.
Good throw, bud.
Yevgeny Arkhipov will get to throw this draw again. Hopefully set a little bit higher in the rings. Underneath cover and shot stone.
Ran real nice there, too.
Нет, та же самая щетка, потому что это прямее камень. А тебе может еще попросить побольше. Лех, чуть-чуть побольше. Да понятно. Еще лучше за сдвоенным гардом. Антон, только щетку сейчас не надо мне перед лицом, хорошо?
It's pretty loose. Some laughter and a little bit of chit-chat while getting ready to throw your last rock in the 11th end.
Whoa! Whoa! Ah.
Go, I don't want. Go, 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 go! Beautiful. Sweet.
And with that, it's handshakes and a victory for Team USA, 6-5 in the extra end. Much needed victory for Team USA. Keeps their playoff hopes alive as they finish the round robin at 6-5. Stick with us for an interview with the winning skip from our feature game, Nicholas Edin, and a recap of this afternoon's events. Sweden versus China in the 5th end. The game is all tied up when Nicholas Edin goes for the angle run back and sticks it for a score of 2 to go up by 2. So we get to the 7th end. A freeze sets up this opportunity at a big run back. And gets both Chinese stones moving right out of the rings and takes a score of 3 in 7. 8th end, a bit of a miscue by Nicholas Adine on another run back. Leaves an open hit and stick for Zhang Zhaliang and his Chinese team. Starting to tighten up on the scoreboard. Steal in 9. Heads us into the 10th end, where great peels lead to an open end and an open hit for the win. Team Sweden over Team China. And our other games, United States we just saw, 6-5 over Russia in the extra. Canada with the last shot pick for a 7-6 victory over Italy. And Switzerland falls to Norway for their 4th loss in a row. You can take a look at the standings. Top the leaderboard, Canada, Norway, and Sweden all qualified for the playoffs. United States, Finland, Switzerland still in contention. Japan, China, Czech Republic, Italy, Scotland, and Russia out of playoff contention with 6 or more losses.
Well done, Nicholas. How does it feel moving into the playoffs now officially?
Feels really good. We struggled in the beginning of the week, and we're down 2 and 3. So we were questioning ourselves a bit there, and we had not the original lineup either with a guy sick. So once we got back in it, and now we're on a winning streak again, so it feels really good to secure a playoff spot already, and then have one more game to really try and set the angles up good and try and play as we want to do in the playoffs.
That seems to be a key for your guys' game, is really setting up angles for a run back. Made one for 3 and 7. Just talk about that type of game plan.
Yeah, we talked about that in the middle of that end. They were going really hard for a steal there, so we, me and Oscar, we talked in the middle of the end there, like try and get a run back for 2 or 3 and kill the game right there. So he made a nice freeze on his last, but that was the shot we wanted, and luckily we made it just good enough to get that 3.
Is there extra motivation? You weren't a skip at the World Championship last year. Oscar was. Now you have a chance together to try and win a world title.
Yeah, I don't even think about the last year's Worlds. That was a really hard thing that year, though. After the Olympics, we really wanted to get some revenge and play that Worlds. We didn't, but right now it's only focus on this Worlds, and it would be really cool if we can win right away with a new team. But if we can just pick up a medal, that would be really sweet too.
Well, best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Draw 16 here at the Ford World Men's Curling Championships. Saying goodbye to you from the Scotiabank Centre, Halifax, Canada.